I think of solidarity.
Solidarity to me is
For me,
hands down
solidarity
class.
is
Compromising my
What's
personal
solidarity?
Okay, today is January 20th, 2021, and I am here to talk about solidarity because I am absolutely filled with joy. Today, I got to watch Amanda Gorman give the inaugural poem for the swearing in of Joe Biden and our very first Madam Vice President, a proud African American, Asian American woman, HBCU graduate, Kamala Harris. And particularly, like, it's the poem thing that gets to me because to watch a young black woman, a black girl, a 20-year-old, 22-year-old, the youngest person to ever give the inaugural poem on record, get up there and say the things that she did about our nation, and this world that she sees in front of her filled with hope, just filled me with so much joy because there's unity in poetry. You know, poetry is about seeing the truth. And a lot of times the truth is hard for people to see and hear. And that's the thing that also makes poets brave. On Inauguration Day 2017, Ross Gay and I started the Tenderness Project. And we started it as a way to build radical empathy into a world that we were frightened of approaching. Radical empathy is, to me, what solidarity means. It means working on behalf of ourselves and others in radioactive, revolutionary ways to make sure that we can see change. I've always been moved by the fact that revolution means change. Of all people, the one who said that was CeeLo Green. It's a little known, especially I would imagine for most of you young folks, little known fact that CeeLo Green used to be in this bomb-ass political rap group called the Goody Mob. And in, I think it was a Source or a Vibe interview, one of the last things he said was that revolution means change. And I read that when I was a teenager. And it just made me think about the possibility of poetry. You know, poetry is about time and revolution. It's about the ability to create change, to enact change on the page. You know, we talk about a volta. A volta is a turn. It literally, there's literally a term in poetry for the fact that poetry is supposed to change, that it's supposed to change you. And so I want to share with you, in honor of Amanda Gorman, a poem that I wrote that changed me. I had a poetry collection called I Think I'm Ready to See Frank Ocean. And in that, I was really struggling with our country at a time in which I saw so much hatred and had such fears that the archive of Black life in America was going to be that of the violence that was enacted upon us and not of our love. And this is one of the poems that I wrote in service to that fear and ended, the volta, that turn, that revolution becomes my call to hope. Nikes. Rest in peace, Trayvon. That nigga looked just like me. And yes, I recognize this is a vulgar elegy, just as the president, who could only say, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon, instead of, if I had a son, he'd look like me. So often, the body is used as a way to mediate chaos. Just like the Statue of Liberty looked just like Trayvon. But America couldn't swim under the body of a black girl and still feel free. And yes, this is a vulgar elegy. I ask, what is it in you that they don't want to look like you? Remember one thing. Remember one thing. Rule number 2. There is nothing more frightening than the amount of ignorance that accumulates from inert fact. The gap between what they protect and what they choose to protect. America. Little children, I do not always understand the unrest in your revelry, the way you arm yourselves in black and white as if your eyes open and close for the first time and enter national funeral pyre. You ask, America, What color will you fire when you die? Will you burst in a poem radiant as a fistful of sugar? How sweet is that justice who holds a blind eye? Will she weep when there is nothing left to keep of her? Rule number 3. I saw a photograph of a man holding his son in a shirt that read "Black Guns Matter." The media is alive because some of us are dead. And hell, not only bitches want Nikes, we gotta keep ourselves in check. Even I wanna lace myself up in a running that's real. You know the running is real, even if you don't love the race. In America, we wear Nikes even when we converse, even if it's inverse. Rule number 1. Get fly and drowned. You know no goddess of victory, but rock the swoosh every day, trying to open heaven's gate. You've got 2 versions. You've got 2 versions. The one I lay to my chest just so I can hear your heartbeat, and the one your heart beats.